Yes, yes. Reminisce show every Tuesday, man, carrying the tradition of saying Kofa, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what is useful. I go by Logic, and I'm here with my brother.
Mindbender Supreme. What up? What up?
Yeah,
One love.
that's it, man. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff happening in the city. This weekend was also the official launch of Sankofa Square. I know there's some controversy and stuff going on though, but I was there at the opening ceremony Saturday morning, and I know they had events and performances all day, including the DJ set from Carnal Official and a few other folks. I wasn't there for that. I was there in the morning though, so I can speak to that a little bit later. And I was also at Gavin's release for City Kids Survival Guide. Man, I'm going to be building on this in a bit, man. This was the release happened last night, so shout out to Gavin, one of the co-founders of the Remix Project, and just a soul
Yeah.
entrepreneur and someone who's just a thoroughbred in the city, man. If you're in community and doing stuff, you definitely have come across of Gavin. So we're going to be sharing a bit about his book and all that. And you mentioned about Eminem documentary and some other stuff is going on. What's on your mind? What's going on,
Yeah,
bro?
man. Yeah. Well, I just saw that documentary. It's called Stands. It's a document. Actually an interesting approach to a documentary. It's if for people, I am borderline an Eminem stan.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. I'm not like, I've gone to Detroit and I went to where he worked and I actually went to his old house, which is burnt down and stuff.
Right.
I'm not like one of the super stands in the world, like that girl who's got 21 Eminem tattoos and stuff. But like, I'm a big head in a certain way. So I saw the documentary about stands and it was dope. And it had a really interesting turn to it, to be honest, because not only do they talk about hip hop heads that are like, people who are big fans of other
Yeah.
artists. And they talk about, the term stan being put in the Oxford Dictionary, but they actually start going into like the mental health pitfalls of loving an artist so much. And they go into, they touch on the dark side of like, yeah, like some people would like stalk Eminem and how far do you take it? People are just taking their obsessions really far, and this guy had seen him in concert 30 times and all the the levels of fame and stardom and all that stuff. And Eminem talks about it, and he's like, he actually has this really really cool story that he reveals where he says, this is the very last time I walked in public in a shopping mall with my daughter. And he's like, he said his daughter was like younger than she could remember, but like, 2 or 3. And he's like, I was just walking with my mom, my daughter, and like, I'm kind of famous, but like, we go into a store, come out, and there's a crowd. Go into another store, come out, there's a bigger crowd. And then my daughter wanted some shoes, go into a store, came out, and like, it was just like this
Right.
massive mob. And then he's like, my daughter didn't even really know, but we couldn't even like shop anymore. But there was a
Right.
man, and he goes, I had to scoop her up and like carry her out, like for her safety.
Wow.
And he's like, I had to run out of the store, the mall with my daughter, and like was like, I can't do that anymore. He's like, that was the very last time I could just shop as a normal
Wow.
person. And
Okay.
he's like, yeah, my daughter doesn't remember that, but he's like, I remember that. And I was like, yeah, dude, as like a parent, like, yeah, it was really like a super personal moment he revealed. And I was like, oh shit, it's pretty dope. It's really like a lot of insightful stuff, a lot of really human stuff and mental health stuff. And there's very little Dr. Dre and LL Cool J in it, but it was mostly about the fans. It was really good.
Okay, okay. No, I love that. Like, those are my kind of like documentaries, that really give an insight into humanity, the human psychology, and just, like what they're experiencing. Like, that's away from like the glam and all the fame and superstardom. It's like this is the flip side where it's like the normal life gets compromised and altered, and kind of reminds me of just like Andre 3000 when he spoke about just can't remember exactly the quote, but along the lines of like like superstardom is like this like abnormal type of like way of being, and for him it was just very uncomfortable to be in that space all the time. I'm sure
Yeah,
certain times it feels great, of course, but all the time it's like that's a lot. You know what I mean? Sometimes you want to be able to just go grab a bagel at Tim Hortons and not be bothered by anybody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I with that being said, where's this documentary found? Like, where could I watch that? Because I'm a documentary guy. I love that.
It's Yeah, it's it's leaked now, so it's on most bootleggers, whatever. But I think it's an MTV documentary, so like the MTV website. But I just copped it off my bootlegger.
Yeah, no
But yeah,
problem.
it's out now. It stands, and yeah, it's very well done. Well done. About hour and 40 minutes. It's a good. And like I said, there's a couple hip hop stars in it. Dr. Dre's in it, Jimmy Iovine, little LL Cool J and stuff. But mostly they talk to like regular human hip hop heads, like
Okay,
this French dude, this Latin dude, this normal heads that are like like that girl that's got 21 Eminem tattoos. Like they just
right,
talk to the people,
right,
and
right.
then they've got a little Eminem, but like it's just about enough. But like yeah, they mostly give it to the people, which is a good look.
No, I like that. I mean, like it's and to me, like that's something that's hasn't been as focused on in hip hop culture, which is like community and having like the elements around an artist that are equally as important, like the ecosystem and whatnot. So I definitely like that approach, man. That's big. But
Yeah, you
continuing,
said it.
yeah, like continuing the lines of like reflections and whatnot. Got to shout out our boy Gavin Shepherd, man, who just congratulations on the release of his new book, man. 100, man. We got to keep it 100. A city kid,
Hmm.
a city kid's survival guide.
I
Uh,
need one.
yeah. So Gavin Shepherd, for those who don't know, is that's my brother right there. He is social entrepreneur, just someone who is deeply involved in the hip hop community and scene. If you're familiar with the Remix Project, he's one of the co-founders. So he has worked with and supported and advocated for a lot of artists, a lot of things happening around the city, and definitely a pillar. If y'all go way back and remember IC Visions, which is before Remix Project,
I see visions.
his roots in the scene within community hip hop culture is very much intertwined. We all came up in the same
Honest
area.
music. Honest music.
There we go. Okay, hey, there we go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Gavin is another fact. Gavin used to manage Rochester. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know a bit of history, go way, way, way back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this book here, Survivor's Guide, which you can go check out online, is like a series of quotes that were derived from a bunch of tweets that were from a particular time period. I believe it was from 2014 to like 16 or something like that. And what he did is it's like a lot of these different reflections of inspiration, of motivation, and it's accompanied by a illustrator by the name of Thomas B. So as you can see, this is kind of like the format. And when I was talking with Gavin, I got a little interview with him, which I'll share on the sites a little bit later. As you can see, like this one has like revolution and then like a little quote. So each page is quick reads, and this one, just as a random selection, says people who self-describe as revolutionaries usually make me sick. Interesting. And then you have revolutionary with like the RX as medication and whatnot. So just
Mhm.
reflections and thoughts. Like here's another.
Yeah. Kamau taught me that one, man. Like real revolutionary is like like in the bushes with a AK-47 hiding against the cops and the soldier. I'm like, yo, I'm not a revolutionary, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
at the best, I'm rebellious. I'm like,
that's real.
I'm like, oh, I would like to be a revolutionary,
Yeah,
but like I don't want to be one anytime soon. Like I'm not growing my own food and like
right.
really like full on revolutionary, like change the entire system. Like there's levels to this
That's it.
shit, and gotta salute the real
There's definitely
revolutionaries.
levels to that, and you got to know what level you're on. Don't try to be the big dog when you're just a little puppy coming in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm
last
a
one
I'm
I'll,
a I'm a poet. I'm a rebellious poet artist.
yeah, last one I'll read. I like the images. Got the ghost. With the halo and a dead flower. A lot of symbolism here, really interesting. But this quote
Powerful,
that
powerful.
inspired that drawing says, "One man's duppy is another man's ancestor. Respect the ground upon which you walk."
That's wild.
You know what I mean? So it's like I like these. This is one of those kind of books that when you want to take like a solo walk somewhere and just like chill and you know what I mean. Just you don't even have to read it in order. It's just kind of let me just kind of flip through it and see like what stands out and just kind of like staring into the sky and reflect and whatnot. It's one of those. But again, these are reflections. City Kids Survival Guide. So this is something that I feel was going to be great for my classes. September's coming around the corner, and we're going to be
Proper.
building on that. So I think these will be great icebreaker exercises. Get the used to interpret some of these images and quotes and whatnot. So big up to Gavin, man, for repurposing his thoughts and ideas. And this is something that I feel like we've like spoken about, just like maybe posts from like the past and just like ideas have been put out there to like, repurpose them and create some type of, either a book or media or something, right? Because it's all there. Like we don't have to keep continuing making new ideas when we can just, again, Sankofa, go back and fetch. You see that, eh?
Yes.
He went back and fetched and brought it back, and now, hey, man, like these quotes are have a whole new meaning, and they're going ready to inspire everyone, man. So I suggest y'all go support the link. Shout out Gavin there, man, and that's what it is, man. Survivors.
Yeah, I want a copy of that on my bookshelf. I didn't thank you for each one teach one, man. You taught me about it because I didn't know about it. Like you said, I'm not on Instagram all the time, so like I just missed it and I didn't know till you told me, and now I want a copy of that book. So that's dope. Salute to Gavin for getting it done because I'm still picking away at my book. I've written thousands of articles, but writing a book is a different beast. So I've written albums, but books is not so easy for me. So shout out to anybody who gets a book done. And shout out to Sankofa Square. Actually, I was passing by there. I had to go to a different event, and I was passing by just at Yonge and Dundas, and I saw that they had done something called the Melanin Market. And I was like, yo, this is dope. And I only got to check it out for a little bit. And I was like, shit, I wish I had more time, but like I'm like just passing through. But I got to check it out just a little bit. Gotcha. And it was dope.
Yeah, so this is like a little quick highlight. I did film the whole thing, so I did get like the notification for this. I came out early mornings. I think I was there maybe about like 10 a.m. or so, and they had their whole like celebration. So I have like a longer like footage, but this is just like a quick highlight just to kind of give a little bit of like the energy. And it was really powerful, man. Like, they had like people straight from Ghana, as you can see. It's very, very much representing drummings. They had indigenous folks coming through, lessons and whatnot. And it was definitely like a vibe, very Ghanaian for sure, of course, because like Sankofa is a Ghanaian word. My personal thing, I feel that there could have been an opportunity for like other African nations to be represented, just because of what Toronto is. We have so many different African nations that could, come in unison, what I'm saying, representing. And so I feel like that could have been, just like another opportunity. But of course I saw our boy from Flyer Volt, shout out Flyer Volt, what I'm saying? Like he was there, had a little protest thing going on, what I'm saying? Like asking people's, against the Sankofa Square. I know he's spoken,
oh my god, really? Daniel, guy.
Honestly, like I respect that. Like people can have their opinion. I like Flyerful. I like what he does. We can disagree on certain things.
No, definitely. No, I was just on a podcast with him. So like we both agreed, like we were both bigging up Apple. So he's a big lover of Apple, like and a devotee of Apple. So I'm like, all right, we can agree on this. You like a Toronto legend, but when it comes to this political opinion, we definitely differ on that opinion. I'm like, I would never think that Sankofa Square is a bad idea, even though I know that he doesn't agree with it. And I'll tell him to his face, same way you will. But like, we agree on other things. We agree on other things.
Yeah, and I hear where he's coming from. Different names like could have been like indigenous name or like Terry Fox Square or something. I'm like, these are notable.
Maybe, for sure. Maybe in an alternate universe.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at like opinions and perspectives. And, as long as it's like respectful and not trying to like degrade or discredit the existence of one over the other. And but of course, like what Sankofa represents and it's more of like a spiritual essence and it's something that every culture can connect to, because there is something that we have to go back and bring forward, and to remember the past. The same reason why we have Remembrance Day and why we have anniversaries. Like there's something inherently connected to our human experience for us to remember the past, not to dwell on it, but to learn back and to bring stuff that's useful, right? So that's Sankofa Square, and we got to represent and protect it, man. So that is that, man. Big up to everyone. It's all love, man. We got to maintain the love. So
That's it. And yeah, we can all, that's the thing about that's what the fucking shitty thing about America is right now. Like there are times in the past where we could very much respectfully and peacefully disagree with the other side. Like, but we didn't like Bush, but like, we're like the war on Iraq is fake and stuff, but there was like a certain level of respect that Bush had for people who weren't Republicans, and for like we respected the other political party, the massive political parties in issue, and like, but at this point in time, it's just gotten like people want to obliterate the other side, and like that just doesn't work because like the other side is your coworkers or friends or family or just other people who share the world with you, even if you're not actually related to them or don't share anything on any other levels of life. But like we all share the society, and like, yo, man, like we can't. We have to make space for people we disagree with, and like be like, all right, yeah, you're allowed to have. That's what a real freedom is. To be like, yo, you're free to think that, but like, we're also free to fight for the name Sankofa Square. And then when we win that fight, like, we're free to listen to other people disagree with it while we bask in the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most important thing is that it went through the proper channels. This was not like a hostile takeover or anything of that nature. Everything went through the proper channels and the proper voting and the right city officials and so on and so forth. So it wasn't just some backdoor like, quick, let's just change this without doing the proper protocol, So
yeah,
that's what's up. I mean, people were protesting against like Louis March's the Sumac Park renamed as Louis March Park, So there's always going to be opposition or the young folks always say ops, man, ops, and that's okay. Like I'm okay with people expressing their opinion. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. My only thing is like, yo, just don't go out of the way to be in the way. That's all. That's all. Don't go out of your way to be in the way. Hey, if you want to be on the sidelines, say I'll even hang out and listen, because I value perspective. There might be something I might learn, something I maybe never have thought about. Be like, you know what? That's something worth considering.
Yeah,
I can do that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna keep moving forward.
We're going, yeah. Well, yeah, man. Yo, on that note, man, it was good chopping it up, but I got a little business meeting. I got a boogie too, but
hey, man, that's it, man.
I'm glad we could check in, see each other's. We doing all right?
That's it, man. Last thing, is there any like shows that's coming up, man? That's on your radar in the next like couple weeks or anything like that?
Not really. No, nothing too crazy. Okay. I can't think of anything. Yeah, anything for you?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment. I know TIFF is going to be next week, so I think I might like roll around and hang around, and I don't know. Maybe we should figure out something, go down my TIFF, talk to some random folks, and get in that vibe, see what we can do. You know what I mean? So
okay,
that could be something.
I'm down for that. I definitely want to get out for some of TIFF because it's 50th anniversary.
Really? Oh man,
yeah.
If I knew that, I would have been way more intentional with trying to like get some access and whatnot. 50.
Yeah, it's a 50. Yeah, we got a
big deal.
Yeah, we got it. For at least one or two movies, I want to definitely show out and come through on something big, something big. Hopefully, something black. But like, yeah, we are with something's going down. My last thing was the Viola Davis. Her Woman King movie. That's the last really big TIFF thing I saw.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to follow up big.
Yeah, I got some of our filmmaker friends, who's supposed to send me a list of some films to like check out. So hopefully I get that soon, and I'll share that with you ASAP. And yeah, man, we'll see what we can check out and get some footage of us being in real life in Toronto. Because hey, man, there's a lot going on, so we got to be there.
We will be there because that's what we do. All right. Man. All right, yo, good link up, man.
Off like that. Peace, everyone is always tapping in. We do this every Tuesday, Reminisce show, 7 p.m. Eastern time, live